Welcome to the ARC Automation Studio. I'm Alan Avery, a senior analyst here at ARC, and today we're going to be discussing the pipeline scheduling solutions market. And joining me today is Tim Shea, a senior analyst at ARC Advisory Group, and he's just completed a study on this topic. Thanks for being here with us today, Tim. I wonder, what is your area of expertise in the oil and gas market, and how has this qualified you to analyze pipeline scheduling solutions? What are some of the applications that would help the audience better understand this topic?
Thanks, Alan. Over the last 6 years at ARC, my focus has been on researching the upstream and midstream oil and gas markets in a number of technology solutions areas, including artificial lift optimization, intelligent pumps, leak detection, multi-phase flow metering, compressor monitoring and controls, and turbine monitoring and controls. This is ARC's first edition of the pipeline scheduling solutions marketplace. Back in the early to mid-1990s, I also worked at 2 different oil and gas pipeline operating companies, which has given me a deep foundation into the market. The focus of the pipeline scheduling solutions report is on the 2 main medium types being scheduled and transported, that being liquids and natural gas. Liquids was further segmented by type of liquids. As you can see below, there's a number of applications which we covered within each of these 2 main media: batch management, tank and terminal management, nominations management, and a number of things in the liquids market, as well as applications such as confirmations, nominations and scheduling, pipeline system balancing, reporting, storage management and tracking, and others within the natural gas segment.
Next, I think we should cover what trends are driving customers to increase their investment in pipeline scheduling solutions.
Thanks, Alan. Although there are several key trends, I'll focus on the 3 primary ones. First of all, there's a large market opportunity with over 2.5 million miles of pipeline, if you include distribution lines globally, and around 100,000 miles of pipeline coming online over the next few years. Many of these, especially the longer and more complex pipeline networks, can benefit from a pipeline scheduling solution if they've not already done so. The second one is the increase in regulatory oversight of organizations such as FERC, the North American Energy Standards Board, and others in other countries across the world is causing companies to be more compliant, investing in solutions that make them more compliant with these regulatory mandates. And lastly, the general proven performance of pipeline scheduling solutions has advanced over the last 2 decades, and most recently due to advancements in computing and analytics, such as advanced analytics and simulation, enhanced visualization tools such as dashboards and other functional enhancements, and all these are increasing the value proposition of today's pipeline scheduling solutions. And this success is creating more demand.
Thanks, Tim. What are some of the underlying drivers that have been critical to growth in the pipeline scheduling market?
Well, I'll focus here on the 3 main drivers that have increased demand for energy from a growing middle class in many developing countries such as India and China, combined with an increasing demand for natural gas for power generation, particularly in countries like China and the Middle East. China is looking to reduce its reliance on coal and associated pollution therein. This is all causing an increased investment for hydrocarbon recovery, and thus is a growing need for pipelines to ship these hydrocarbons. Second of all, as we talked about earlier in the lower for longer oil environment situation, many IOCs, NOCs, and independent E&P firms are competing for future production, and thus the demand for pipelines and distribution lines necessary to support this increased production is growing, as will the need for scheduling automation. Lastly, the impact of the great crew change and the reduction in the workforce, particularly experienced workforce, has been combined with this new opportunity that with also associated challenges to integrate the data across the value chain in the midstream markets. Companies are increasingly forced to do more with less as a result of the downturn, and they also face the opportunity of achieving better data integration and visibility that pipeline solutions can provide. But many of these companies lack the resources or the domain expertise to make that dream a reality. And thus is a growing demand, we think, for them to rely on pipeline scheduling solutions and suppliers to meet those needs.
What are some key strategic initiatives for suppliers to consider in improving their competitive position in the pipeline scheduling market?
Well, Alan, if I was a pipeline scheduling supplier, I would focus primarily on educating the users on the tangible benefits of incorporating a pipeline scheduling solution and/or service. Really, it's the proof in the pudding. And the more meaningful, tangible metrics that suppliers can point to in terms of other customers' success stories or case studies and the operational benefits achieved therein, the more effective their messaging will be. Obviously, we think that suppliers should work more closely with end users and focusing on developing a meaningful partnership and not just trying to sell a product or a solution. Really looking to deeply understand their current and/or changing operational requirements so as to make sure that you can tailor their solution requirements as best as possible. Lastly, in addition to the education we talked about above earlier, developing effective sales and marketing campaigns that promotes the operational benefits of addressing the key pain points and providing real examples of where the value and operational improvements were, such as ensuring greater regulatory compliance, automating shipping balances, improving accuracy in reporting and shipping, improving real-time data visibility, supporting storage transfers more efficiently. Things of that should gain great awareness and certainly help increase the chance of likelihood and action by the operator.
Thanks for sharing your insights with us today, Tim. This concludes our presentation on the pipeline scheduling solutions market. Any audience members who have any questions or need additional information should get in touch with the client manager at ARC or contact the author directly. That does it for us today here in the Automation Studio. Thanks for your attention and have a great day.